What can hitting a junior club like this teach us about how to make consistent, solid contact? That's what we're talking about today. But before I do, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss another video. Also, if you are a beginner or an intermediate player who wants to brush up on the fundamentals of golf, go to the link in the pinned comment under this video. And there you're going to find, if you go to the three-line menu in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to find the Paul Nichols coaching system. It's called the Golfer's Edge. In there, there's a series of 10 video lessons made by me where I'm going to take you through all of the fundamentals of the game to help you have more fun playing this game. So go check that out. So now, how can hitting a junior club like this teach us to make more consistent, solid contact? Well, first, let's compare this junior club to my standard 7-iron. This is a Kids America club that I bought for my son when he was 3 or 4 years old, and now my grandson, who's 5 years old, is hitting it. It's a 7-iron that is 28.5 inches long, and to compare that to my 7-iron, there you see the difference in length. This grip comes up just a couple of inches into the grip of my 7-iron. So if I were to take my setup with my 7-iron, this is what it would look like. I would put the ball right in the middle of my feet, put the club behind the ball, then have just a little bit of flex in my knees, just enough that I can comfortably turn back and forth. And then I'm going to have just enough bend in my waist so that the angle of my spine creates a situation where as my arms hang under my shoulders in a relaxed position, they now meet the grip as it comes up from the clubs resting behind the ball. This is my setup position with my 7-iron. So now what would I change to try to hit this 7-iron solidly? Well, the situation I want to replicate is I want, once again, my arms to be hanging from my shoulders in a relaxed fashion. So, of course, since the club is shorter, I'm going to put the club behind the ball, and now I'm going to make adjustments so that I can still create that situation with my arms. So I'm going to widen my stance to bring my center of gravity lower. I'm going to put more bend in my knees to do the same, and then I'm going to have more bend in my waist. So now, once again, my arms just hanging from my shoulders meet the grip as it comes up from the ball. I've now created that same situation. So now here's the key. As I swing this club, what I need to do to make solid contact is I need to keep the amount of flex in my knees the same all the way through the swing. I also need to keep the amount of bend in my waist the same all the way through the swing. If I do those two things, my head is going to stay right here. If my head stays right here, that makes it easy for me to get that club right back to where it started. And it looks like this. Slight push, but 121 yards on a 28.5-inch 7-iron is not too bad. So now let's compare that to what my 7-iron looks like. So what does that teach us now? Once again, that teaches us that if we take our setup to the point where we've got our arms now relaxed, hanging from our shoulders and meeting the grip of this club as it sits behind the ball, and I've got just enough flex in my knees to comfortably turn back and forth, I've got enough bend in my waist so that my arms are now in a comfortable position, just hanging from my shoulders. Now, the keys are the same. I need to keep the amount of flex in my knees the same all the way through. I need to keep the amount of bend in my waist the same all the way through. That's going to keep my head still. If my head stays still, that club head is going to come right back to where it started, and with my weight moving forward at that moment, it's going to get that club moving down into the back of the ball because I'm starting with a little bit of forward press in the shaft. And you see, you almost get the exact same ball flight. So that's all we need to do. With a junior club teaching us, keep the flex in your knees the same, keep the bend in your waist the same, your head doesn't move, you make solid contact. So next time you go out to the course, keep those things in mind.